Hey, what's up everybody? DJ Beneficial checking in. So about 2 weeks ago, me and my wife took our first trip to Las Vegas post-quarantine, and in today's episode I wanted to share with you guys what our experience was like. So on our way up there, we make our first pit stop over at the 7 Magic Mountains. Now I did just cover this on a recent episode, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link over here at the top. And it's only about a minute and a half. There's not really a whole lot to it, but it's basically just a really cool art project and pit stop area where you can get out, stretch your legs, bust out your drone, take some cool videos, and take some really cool influencer pics for Instagram and things like that. So it's definitely a pit stop I recommend on the way up there, and let me show you guys how our pictures came out. Alright, so after a fun little pit stop, we got to get out, stretch our legs, fly the drone around for a little bit, take some pictures and videos. We get back in our vehicle and head towards our destination of Sin City. You know, there's nothing like pulling into Vegas when you've been stuck in your car for 3 hours and you see the buildings and the pyramid in the distance and the palm trees and everything. It's really a great sight to see. And over there on the left, that's a new stadium that they're almost done with construction on, and I believe that's where the Raiders are going to play, if I'm not mistaken. So this time around, we decided we were going to stay at the Excalibur, and the main reason is because they have the best deal in the room, and it's located right there off the strip, and really it's not the worst place to stay. But for the most part, whenever me and my wife are in Vegas, we don't really spend a whole lot of time in our room. We try to be out and about as much as possible, and we really only go back to the room to rest and to charge our batteries. So part of the reason why we did this trip to Vegas was to celebrate with my in-laws, and specifically my sister-in-law, who recently just graduated law school. So first off, congratulations Patty, you did a great job, we're really proud of you. And here's a look at what their view looked like from their side of the building. They actually got a way better view than we did. You can see the Luxor, you can see Mandalay Bay, the airport, and just a lot of lights. It looked really cool. So here's a look at the view from our side of the building, and as you can see, there's not really a whole lot to look at. I mean, we're stuck over here behind the castle, which does look pretty cool, and we got to see a little bit of the strip over there way off into the distance, but not a great vantage point to actually see the whole downtown area. For the most part, we're really just looking at the roof of this building over here underneath us. I'll go ahead and zoom over here a little bit so you can get a better idea of what it looked like, but that was pretty much it. Alright, now here's a second look at the view from my in-laws room in the daytime so you can get a better idea of how everything looked. And unfortunately it's pointed away from the strip so you don't really get to see the whole downtown area, but it's still not a bad view. Over there is the airport on the left, and Mandalay Bay and the Luxor in the distance. And it's really not a bad view, especially for the price. And we're just about ready to head out and hit the town, so let's go check it out. So this is kind of crazy. It's Saturday afternoon, somewhere between 12 and 1, and it's just empty out here. I mean, look at this. It's just like barely anybody walking around right now. It's crazy. I mean, just look at the traffic right here. I've never seen Vegas like this, and you know, I come out here a couple times a year, and I've just never in my life seen it so empty. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. So as you can see, there are people shopping and walking around. There's a lot more people on the inside right now than the outside. The weather is actually pretty good out here. It's not really too hot, and there's a nice breeze. But this is a Saturday afternoon, and there's usually just way more people than this out here in Vegas. But you know, things are slowly starting to pick back up. But just to show you guys what the activity looks like out here, give you guys an idea. So we pretty much spent the whole day and afternoon doing the whole touristy thing, just walking around, taking it all in, getting food and drinks, checking out all the stores and casinos, and all the typical things one would normally do coming out to Vegas. Now, one of my favorite things in Las Vegas to do, of course, is the whole nightclub experience, because really Las Vegas has some of the best nightclubs in the country, if not the world. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the nightclubs are all still closed, so we didn't get to do that. Instead, we decided we're going to head over to Fremont Street. Now, if you're not familiar with what Fremont Street is, it's actually the original Las Vegas. So all the old movies that you watch about Vegas all take place in what Fremont Street is now today. Since then, it's been turned into this big outdoor experience, which feels like you're at one big outdoor party. They have an LED ceiling that goes down the length of 2 streets. You can zip line all the way down the street as well. And they have a lot of outdoor bars that anybody can just walk up to and get drinks, and you can walk around with your drinks in your hand out in the public. There's a lot of entertainment over there. They have everything from live bands to DJs to street performers doing everything from magic tricks to breakdancing and pretty much anything else you can think of. In a lot of ways, it actually reminds me of Hollywood Boulevard, because they also have a lot of souvenir shops as well. Now, under normal circumstances, the nightclubs will be open around 10 and they stay open until 4 in the morning. So you don't really need to go to any of these clubs until around midnight, because the headliner doesn't go on until 2 a.m. anyways. So for me, my usual routine would be to go over to Fremont Street and just kill a couple hours before I have to go back to my hotel room and get ready. This time while I was there, I didn't really get a whole lot of footage. Instead, I decided to do a live stream, which is still up on my Instagram. So if you want to go to instagram.com/DJBeneficial, just head over to my IGTV and you can see all the raw footage from my trip down Fremont Street. Other than that, we're just going to skip over to the next day. Now, the thing about walking around in Vegas is that to get across the street, you either have to go up some escalators or down some stairs, so it can really be difficult if you're not in good physical shape. Now, over here is something really cool I want to share with you guys. This is called the Conservatory and Botanical Gardens, located inside of the Bellagio. It's basically a collection of giant artwork masterpieces that are changed every season, and their purpose is to pay tribute to Japanese culture. It's definitely a great place for all of you Instagram influencer types to take some really cool selfies, videos, and pictures and all that good stuff. Alright, so before we check out, I just want to give you guys a look at the room, so if you guys ever want to stay at the Excalibur, you can already have an idea of what it's going to be like here for you. So let's check it out. So first off, let's start with the bathroom. Pretty standard, you know, you got a very big mirror, good lighting, toilet, little tiny picture with a big frame, and everything works really well. Actually, I did enjoy the shower. The water pressure was good. It's one of these kind of knobs where you turn it, on the right side is cold, the left side is hot. You kind of spin it all the way around to get it where you want. The shampoo was actually pretty nice. The towels are your typical hotel towels that feel like they've been washed thousands of times, but I mean, what do you expect, you know? But everything was pretty good in the bathroom. The shampoo that they came with was actually pretty nice. It didn't dry my scalp out or anything like that. This is the room. Now, the bed's usually made a little bit better when you first get in here. This is our room on our way out, but it's a pretty typical room, nothing too fancy. We got the one bed, and if you get the room with the one bed, you also get a little couch. And walking up to the window here, you can see what our view looked like. It's not bad. I think if we would have stayed in that tower, we probably would have got a better view. Not sure what that, we're in the Royal Tower, so I'm not sure what that tower is called. But maybe if we ever do stay in here again, we'll probably stay in that one. I like to try a different hotel out every time I come out to Vegas. Now, the one thing that I had an issue with, actually two things.
I don't know if you've noticed yet, but there is no coffee maker. And maybe it's a little bit on me because I didn't ask them if they had one. But, you know, I've stayed at Circus in the past, and even they had a coffee machine and a little fridge. And this is the same owner. It's owned by MGM, so I figured that this place would have those things, and they didn't. So that was kind of a disappointment. We didn't have any hot water, and you know, we brought like some cup of noodles and stuff, and we weren't able to make any of that. So that was kind of a bummer. And not being able to make any coffee was also kind of a bummer. So just a heads up, if you do stay here, you're not going to be able to have any of that. You're not going to be able to have a coffee machine. You're not going to have a little fridge to keep your drinks cold. So just with that alone, that was kind of just a fundamental thing I expected to have here, and they didn't have it. AC works fine. It's just kind of old school looking. You know, this place kind of looks like it was like designed in the 70s. I mean, look at the carpet. So I mean, it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's a place that'll get the job done. But I think for the price we paid here, we could easily get another place that would have those basic things. So just a heads up on that. But taking a step back here, this is what the room looks like. If you ever want to stay here, you know what to expect. And here's the inside look at the closet. And they got a safe too. So if you have any diamonds or any, if you went on a heist recently, you know, you can hide your goodies in there. Ironing board and complimentary iron. And I don't know what this thing is used for, but they have one of those. Pretty typical, you know. And that's about it. So me and the wifey are gonna head out now. We're gonna enjoy our last couple hours here before we head home. We're gonna go check out. And I don't know, we're gonna either hit the strip or go back to Fremont or maybe do a little bit of both. But we're probably gonna stay here till the evening and just have a couple more hours of fun before we go home.
Before going home, we decided to pay a quick visit over to my buddy Javier's house, who's a good friend of mine since we were kids, and he recently moved out to Las Vegas for work reasons. So we spent some time catching up with him. He showed me around his new place, and we spent about 45 minutes just chopping it up on his vintage Jordan collection and his vintage jersey collection. So that within itself is going to be a separate video. So be on the lookout for that. If you're a shoe collector, if you're a Jordan or sports enthusiast, it's definitely going to be a video I think you're going to find interesting. And after we spent some time catching up with him, we decided to do one last trip over to Fremont Street. On our way home, we did one quick pit stop over at Alien Fresh Jerky, which is definitely a pit stop I recommend everybody making when you're coming home from Vegas. Not only is it really cool because they have this whole Disneyland, Tomorrowland vibe with the building looking all futuristic and the alien statues on the outside, but it's just a great place just to come in and just have a little bit of fun and get a nice little snack for yourself to enjoy on the ride home. This is something I haven't seen in a while, and I know exactly where they got this from. Obviously, this is Yoda from Star Wars, but I know where they got that from. Back when I used to work at Blockbuster Video in the early 2000s, this was a giveaway prize, and it was just a thing where you fill out a ballot and drop it in, and they would just pick somebody at random, and each store gave one of these away. So this is actually a really old giveaway from Blockbuster Video. Alright you guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe below to my channel. And be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys want to see more of from me in the future. If you want to see more of these travel lifestyle kind of videos, let me know. If you want to see more DJing and live stream tutorials, let me know as well, and I'll always do my best to accommodate. Other than that, I just want to say I appreciate you guys taking the time to come through and watch my video today, and I'll catch up with you guys soon on the next one. Till then, be safe. Peace.